Friday's disappointing jobs report, whoever wins the election, could be dealing with a recession. So who has a better plan for getting us through these hard times? Wall Street Journal editorial board member Bill McGurn and former Clinton advisor and a truly moderate Democrat strategist, Doug Schoen, are here to talk this over, and they're both good friends. Good to see you both. Thank you very much. Bill, Kamala Harris wants to raise taxes. It's pretty clear. I know some taxes she wants to lower. She's mentioned it. She may, her plan is still a work in progress, so we don't know exactly. But this is what we've seen so far. A lot of taxes are going up. The last thing you want to do in a recession is raise taxes.
Well, except for Democrats. It seems like the first thing they want to do that. They're not even, I think, pretending that it'll have good consequences. It's more a moral thing. You know, when you ask them, what is a fair rate or fair share? They never give you a rate like 23% or 40%. You know what the answer is? It's always the same. More than what it is. They always want more. And they're just blind to the consequences of that. I mean, when Trump lowered the corporate tax rates, all the inversions for overseas stopped, gave people a real incentive.
Inversion simply means that people pick up and move if the taxes are too high.
I think there's no idea that we're in a competitive world for capital, and our rates are part of that.
Yes. Well, Doug, you are one of the few Democrats who are my friends who understand that incentives matter and disincentives matter. And if you raise taxes for businesses, that is a disincentive, not an incentive. You don't want to do that in a recession, right?
I don't, and I don't think my party should. One of our most successful initiatives, as we've discussed, David, in the Clinton years, was cutting the capital gains tax. I think it was in '97, if I remember, which produced an economic boom. The stock market went up, and Clinton's approval went up.
Bingo.
I think Bill is sadly correct. The other thing Democrats always say is the rich need to pay more. And look, to face facts, if you tax the rich more, there's less economic activity and less investment. And what you need in a recession is more activity and investment. So I think the answer to your first question is, regrettably for me as a Democrat, Trump will look better and better as the economy looks worse and worse.
All right. Well, Bill, first of all, Doug Schoen for president. That's I'm just putting that out there. I'm going to have a bumper sticker. But he's exactly right. And we just saw it proven, because when Donald Trump lowered tax rates, we saw an increase in the percent of income tax paid by the top 1%. The top 1% went from paying 40% of all income tax to 45%. So Doug is absolutely right that sometimes when you lower taxes on everybody, including the rich end up paying more.
That's a growth factor. The flip side of that, which is equally bad, I think economists agree that the capital gains tax on business is paid by workers in form of lower wages and stuff. So they say they're taxing the rich and the wealthy and big corporations, but they're really giving a raw deal to workers for this. It's a fake populism. And like a lot of fake populism, it has bad results for ordinary working people. Doug was exactly right.
Well, Doug, are you having any input at all with the Harris campaign in terms of getting these ideas in there? Because so far we just heard about things like price controls and raising taxes.
David, I think I'm among the last people that they would want to hear from about politics or economics, even though substantively, and I appreciate the kind words, substantively, her policies are bad. They're bad politics. And ultimately, if she loses the race narrowly, what you have on the screen now could well be the reason why.
Wow. Well, Bill, Donald Trump has his own set of problems, and a lot of people, including the editorial page of the Wall Street Journal, has pointed them out in detail. Yesterday, he tried to sell his economic ideas to a tough crowd, New York City financial people, not all of whom like Donald Trump. How do you think he did?
I think he did reasonably well. Look, I don't agree with all Donald Trump's ideas on economics, especially tariffs and so forth, and the kind of protectionist tint to it. And the gimmicks like no taxes on tips, I think he should be pushing for a flat tax rather than that if she wants to make it easier for workers. But I think what Doug was saying, the more he doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be better than Kamala Harris. And she continues to pull out things that are really awful. And I think he'll look better he at least believes in economic growth and opportunity.
Well, Doug, if Kamala Harris is listening right now, I got to tell her, it might help her, but I got to tell her if she wants to have a better chance of winning, she should listen to what you say, because it sounds right on to me. But that's just me. Gentlemen, great to see you both. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely.